Wow, when I think about the last 5 years of my life, it seems to come down to one common theme, which is the big word freedom and becoming free from so many things. So I thought, why not make a video about it? Because I think so many of us think we can't be free or we're not free, we're controlled. Some of us are aware that we're controlled by certain things and by people. Some of us are totally unaware. So I'm going to share with you five, maybe 6 ways that I freed myself over the past years. We are sitting outside today. We have, I think, the last days now of a Swedish summer because it was freaking freezing this morning, but now it's beautiful, so we're gonna make the most of it. Freedom starts in the mind. Most people think that freedom starts with something outside of themselves, but that is totally untrue. And when you realize this, you actually bring the control and agency back to yourself. When you free yourself from drama, when you free yourself from dramatic people, when you free yourself from craving to have a bit of gossip or drama, anger, sadness, and push-pull energy into your life, you actually manage to free yourself. When you free yourself from negative people, you become closer to freeing yourself. So freedom starts in your mind, and that is how you are managing your emotions, it's how you are managing your reactions, it's how you are managing your feelings, because ultimately so much of the world, everything pretty much is out of our control, except from how we react and how we manage our emotions and our feelings. Some ways that I have really worked on freeing my mind has been through meditation and journaling. I talk about journaling quite a lot on the channel, and if you want more videos about that, then let me know. But journaling is an amazing practice to help you free yourself from your thoughts and your feelings and help you free yourself from the world and things that are happening around you. Because the things that are happening around you don't have to dictate how you feel, and they don't have to dictate your life. They don't have to dictate where you are going. And when you disconnect yourself from circumstances and things that are happening in your life, and you know that the control and the power is within you, that's when you start to become free. My favorite quote is, "We don't see things as they are, but we see things as we are." And I couldn't agree with this more. We always see things like the person that we are, and other people do the same. So however a person is, they're going to view the world from that lens. We're never viewing the world from the same lens and with the same outlook and with the same opinions, with the same feelings. And that again just proves that you can decide how you want to think and how you want to feel and free yourself from any kind of negativity or any kind of low vibration emotions. I started with just simple morning journal prompts, just checking in with how I'm feeling and what's on my mind. That's literally the only questions that I started with. I would just open my journal first thing in the morning and write down what's on my mind, question mark, and then just fill in the page. This is going to help you feel what you're feeling before you start feeling what other people are feeling. Because if the first thing you're doing when you wake up in the morning is checking social media and seeing what other people are going through, supposedly going through, and then you're taking on their life, you're taking on what they're going through, you're ultimately starting the day in somebody else's shoes, in somebody else's feelings, with somebody else's mindset. And how are you ever realizing who you really are and how you really feel? The main way that I use journaling to help with freeing the mind. And then meditation is regulating yourself and knowing your mind on a deeper level. This is just sitting with yourself, sitting with your mind and just breathing in and out and observing what sensations come, whether it's bad ones, whether it's pain, or whether it's negative thoughts, whether it's your mind telling you to stop it, whether it's your mind telling you to go back to work. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Just observe those thoughts and feelings, because it's so interesting what kind of games your mind will play on you. And it will tell you that this is good, it will tell you that this is bad, and if you observe that, and when you observe that, you get to know your mind on that deeper level. If you need to drink coffee, if you need energy drinks, if you need nicotine to function, then you are not free. I know it might sound harsh, but if you are relying on a substance for you to simply function, for you to simply do the bare minimum that you have to do, then you are not free, because you can't function in any surroundings without having these things, without having these bare minimum things. I get it that we all need water to survive, but I'm talking the level up from survival. Once you have your basic needs met, you know, water, food, shelter, and then community in your life, once you have those basic needs met, do you need nicotine to thrive? Do you need an energy drink? Do you need caffeine? Do you need sugar? And if the answer is yes, then the first step is working on that addiction and probably doing a detox. I know so many people who have done sugar detoxes, caffeine detoxes, and it's hard in the beginning, but ultimately they always benefit from it, and they always feel better, because then you go through life without actually needing a specific substance to function and to thrive. And how I utilize it is, as soon as I'm drinking coffee day after day after day and I feel a bit like, oh my god, I need a coffee, that's when I will take a break. That's when I will take a step back and I'm like, whoa, this has gone too far. Most of the time now I have a coffee one day on, one day off, because I think this is like my only addiction really. I also do love sugary foods, but if I'm not doing it consistently every single day, then that addiction isn't really forming. So that is kind of my strategy to not having that addiction. And it's really interesting when it comes to addiction, because apparently addiction also runs in the family and runs in your genes or something. So if you have a parent, or if you are someone who is a parent and you are addicted to something, it could be alcohol, caffeine, drugs, sugar, anything, even your work, if you have an addictive personality, that can be passed down. So then I almost think, if that is the case, then it's kind of my job to work on that addictive personality so that my children don't also get that, because it doesn't have to be seen as a bad thing, but ultimately, yes, it is. If you are addicted to anything, it doesn't mean you just like the thing, it means that you have to do it, and you can't function at your best without doing it. So I kind of see it as my duty to not have an addiction for my future family. Get a job that allows you to work when and where you want. This was a big thing for me. Having agency over my time is freeing. Having choice of where to work and how to work is freeing. You might never be able to work exactly when you want, but if it's where you want or how you want, then this is going to really, really help with that feeling of feeling free. I think as humans, if you are told that you have to be somewhere, then you are just not going to feel like your best. You're just not going to feel like you have agency over your life. If you're told you have to be somewhere 5 days a week, even if you like to be there, there's going to be a day where you don't really want to go, but you have to be there anyway. And it's good to do things that you have to do sometimes, but you don't necessarily want to do. But how incredible is it when you actually have a choice? So my way of doing this was starting my own business, and that's what I did. Well, like 5 years ago I tried, but 2 or 3 years now I've had my business, and I think for the last 2 years I've been completely location free, location independent, and that was the biggest major shift for me in finally feeling free. Stop watching the news. I don't know what more I have to say about the news, but the news is so negative, and it's so easy to get caught up in what's happening in the world, and there's a lot of terrible things happening in the world, but you taking that on and you again living through that lens that the world is a bad place, the world is a horrible place, it's too much, and you do not need to take on that pressure. So I just recommend to stop listening to the news altogether. If you really want to stay up to date, then maybe you can have a time where you check it once a day and that's it, or something. Have a specific news that you like to check, or just stay up to date through social media on things that you actually care about. But other than that, stop watching the news, because it will keep you stuck, it will keep you negative, it will keep you feeling like the world is a bad place. And if you didn't already know this, then the news is heavily regulated by big media companies. I think it's just 3 big media companies that pretty much run and dictate all of the news that we are actually seeing in the world. So it's never actually right, it's never really accurate. So I wouldn't even believe half of the stuff you see on the news anyway. Having less materialistic things. So right now, as I'm in the summer house, I'm actually hand washing my clothes, and I have no car, I do home workouts, I have no house, I don't really own many big things, and honestly, like a lot of the time when I'm speaking to people my age or my parents, I feel some pressure to have these things sorted out, but But not having these things sorted out actually helps with me being so much freer in the world, because I don't have materialistic things holding me down or keeping me anywhere, or taking lots of money and time and energy from me. I think a hack to this is just having less responsibilities in life, but not escaping responsibility, because we all have to take responsibility for ourselves and our life, and sometimes for other people in our life, and also for the decisions we're making, for the things we're buying, and for the things that we own. We have to take responsibility for those things. But the key is just having less, and just making it less and simplifying life. This is going to free you. You can go anywhere without thinking, where am I going to leave this? Where am I going to put this? How am I going to pay for this? You can go, you can be free, you can move around. The same if you run a business online, you can move around, you can be free. You are never stuck, and the choice is always yours. And then you're also not trying to hold yourself to a ridiculous standard, you know, by like owning so many different clothes and putting so much of your worth on what clothes you wear or what items you have, what car you drive. How freeing is it to just not care about any of those things? Freeing yourself from expectations, and especially from pleasing other people. When you are dishonest to yourself, you are then controlled by making sure that everyone else is okay and never truly doing what you want. And I've been there so many times of just pleasing people and doing what people want and just saying yes and just feeling like I'm making their life easier by making my life more difficult, and then ultimately being controlled by what I think that they want. I get it, we want to be liked by people, but we also want to actually like our life. So don't forget that. As much as you want to be liked, think about how much more you want to actually enjoy your life, because remember, it should be more. It should be you want to enjoy your life, and the more that you enjoy your life, the more people are going to see that, be attracted to that, and like you. And it's not really about making people like you anyway, it's just about being yourself, and then the right people will just naturally like you. We don't have to think, I think we think too much about other people liking us, when if we were just thinking about liking ourselves, people liking us would just happen. It would just happen naturally. Those were my 6 ways to live more freely. And I just wanted to share one last thing, which is what freedom looks like to me now, because a lot of it is relating to living in the forest, living in nature, living so far away from the city, and also just a bit of an identity shift of freeing myself of, for example, doing my hair. I love keeping my hair natural. I love keeping it thick. I love not applying heat to my hair. I also love wearing baggy clothes and not having to think about constantly what I look like or how clothes fit. And so feeling free to me now is also coming through physically, because I feel like the things I mentioned in this video, I really actively try to work on, and I think I have built those for myself, although a lot of them are also in the process. But now it's a lot physically. How can I just let go of expectations, especially expectations that are held on women to look a certain way, to be a certain way, to act a certain way? Now I'm so over that, and I'm like, I just want to be free from straighteners, be free from a curling one, be free from tight clothes, and be free from all of these things that I thought would make me more attractive or make me more appealing to people. Now I'm just like, no, they don't do it for me, therefore they are not for me. That's just the last note that I wanted to end on. Thank you so much for watching any of my videos. If you do, I really, really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day, week, month, life. Bye.